In this video, we are analyzing how our avoidant attachment style shapes the dynamic in our relationships, how we currently respond when our core wounds get triggered, and how we can create space to relate to others and ourselves in healthy ways. Tell us, as an avoidant attacher, how do you behave in your relationships? You likely show interest in others through words of affirmation, giving gifts, or spending quality time with them. These displays of connection are also how you are less likely to resist receiving love. You may enjoy physical touch, but then again, it's only on a superficial level, and you do not like to waste time doing things for others. You are raised from a place of your caregiver's own disconnection, where your emotional needs or vulnerability were either met with punishment, disapproval, or unresponsiveness, which may have left you feeling either emotionally suffocated or invisible. Therefore, as an adult, you believe and reinforce this punishment or rejection when emotions are expressed. This can be particularly apparent when you get annoyed if your partner is in a good mood. When it comes to regulating your emotions, developing these skills can be quite challenging. The quality of your achievements has shaped your perception of your value. So the steep learning curve you have to navigate to bring clarity to your emotional landscape may trigger your sense of self-worth, which will then impact your mood and activate the habitual cycle of emotional denial, suppression, and/or distraction. You tend to get busy, very busy, so much so that the lines between work and personal life get extremely blurry, if non-existent. You likely love what you do and find fulfillment and a sense of accomplishment through your work. Unlike anxious attachers, as an avoidant attached person, you prefer to work independently and show quite the resistance to leadership, extensive supervision, new ideas, or any form of conformity. Some people might see you as the troublemaker or antisocial. That's probably because you're very reserved and never really show up for any of your peers' birthday parties. You just trust people in general, so you seek less contact and support from them. You don't like to depend on others and prefer to learn new skills through practical advice. As a leader, you are very efficient at assessing any situation and reacting effectively. However, you can come across as insensitive and less available. If you take a closer look at your relationships, you will be able to recognize how certain emotional wounds activate your flight or freeze trauma responses, such as people getting too close, physically and emotionally, will make you look for an escape route. This intimacy can look like a partner showing public affection towards you or someone wanting to share their feelings. The flight response gets activated when you find yourself dependent on others or feel like others depend on you, such as a partner demanding your attention. This in turn may surface uncomfortable feelings that may cause you to sabotage the relationship. You also get triggered by unpredictable people or situations that make you feel out of control. This may activate your flight or freeze response because you manage the chances of your emotional distress by predicting and avoiding worst-case scenarios, which only reinforces patterns of paranoia, pessimism, overthinking, worry, panic attacks, and anxiety. This is also the case when being criticized by your loved ones or feeling like you're going to be judged for being emotionally vulnerable. Feeling unpleasant or unknown emotions also triggers you and makes you outsource soothing short-term coping mechanisms, instant gratification techniques, and quick mood fixers such as casual sex, jumping from relationship to new relationship, gaming, gambling, excessive drinking, and workaholism. Being busy all the time is also a trauma response and fear-based distraction that prevents you from acknowledging and feeling your feelings. In fact, you often distract yourself from feeling any uncomfortable emotions by focusing your attention on things that you can control, such as your career, hobbies, or life goals. It's not that focusing on these things is wrong, but doing so as a way to dishonor what you feel will cause these emotions to become repressed. This means that your feelings will unconsciously control your life through self-criticism, self-deprecation, getting easily offended, sabotaging relationships, isolation, sulking or complaining instead of asking for support, or being unable to meet your partner's needs. What healthy habits can you deploy to become more secure? It all starts with practicing self-awareness. As an avoidant attacher, this means you can begin by exploring your thoughts. Thoughts create feelings, so when you give them a way to be expressed through words or productive actions, you allow yourself to release those unpleasant emotions and communicate your boundaries. You tend to be a thinker, very rational and logical, so you will have an easier time shoring up superficial thought patterns that way. The challenging part for you is that you have a tendency to think your feelings. And despite feelings having a mental component, which are the narratives we create about our emotions, they are emotionally charged, which means that they are inseparable from our emotional body. Hence, it would be best for you to get down on the ground floor and into your body to experience these emotionally charged thoughts. For more on this topic, we invite you to check out our video on how to develop emotional awareness and to dive deep into our Mindfulness for Emotional Health playlist, as meditation can be a very powerful tool to calm your negative self-talk. And speaking of negative self-talk, challenge your inner critic. Currently, you tend to regulate your emotions by using strategies such as suppression and distraction. However, ignoring your emotions and processing your feelings this way is not effective long-term solutions. They lead to emotional repression, and as we mentioned in the previous video about how to process your feelings, which is also linked below, denying our emotional experiences is like closing the release valve on a pressure cooker. Our emotions will find a way out, one way or the other. As an avoidant attacher, these releases usually take the form of self-criticism around expressing your emotions. You worry about how others might respond when you express how you feel, so you shame those emotions into oblivion. Your egoic mind then represses them and overinflates itself to appear to be in control. You see this in action when you experience anxiety, self-deprecating feelings, overthinking your performance in past situations, or worrying about how others will perceive you or your work. Be vulnerable. If you believe that you're bad, flawed, or defective at your core, you are less likely to expose yourself to the world. You are afraid other people will see you for who you truly are and think that you are broken and that something is wrong with you. Thinking this way reinforces the shame you already experience and triggers the need to withdraw, which prevents you from experiencing life to the fullest extent of your desires. By recognizing why you do what you do, you will find yourself spending less time shaming yourself and putting yourself down, and instead you will slowly open up here and there, disclosing a bit more about yourself, finding common ground and witnessing others relating to what you are experiencing. And this tends to normalize your experiences and makes them less secretive or less wrong. Opening up to others lessens your anxiety, which contributes to calmer, more open, and more compassionate states of being. Find balance between being independent and trusting others. Since one of your core wounds is about feeling unsafe expressing your feelings, this will show up not only in your inability to be vulnerable, but also in your need to deflect with thoughts such as, why do they want me to open up? Why are we moving so fast? Why are they pressuring me? Why are they invading my space? Why are they trying to know me? Another way to deflect is to think of yourself as defective. I can't do this. I am not capable of being in a loving relationship. I am not wired that way. Or to shame yourself for trivial things or self-deprecating thoughts such as, I'm not good enough. I don't have it in me. I'm not cut out for this. What's wrong with me that I did that? Nobody thinks I'm funny or interesting enough. Nobody's gonna want me. Why bother? There's no point. It is understandable that you need your space, and a lot of it, but you are doing yourself a disservice to use it as a way to prevent others from knowing you intimately. Communicate your needs. So, how can you communicate that need during an argument with someone you care about? You can use words like, "I think things are getting a little bit heated. I want to work on my relationship with you, but I need a break for a moment to clear my head. Would it be okay if we continue this conversation later? I know you're always there for me, and when I'm ready, I promise that I'll talk to you about this." And then follow through. Just as we mentioned before, these scripts may work with a partner that is securely attached and even disorganized, especially if they're working on improving their attachment style, but not so much on an anxious attached person, as these requests may activate their fear of being abandoned by the other person. Remember that your boundaries and self-care may be someone else's rejection, and that's okay because you're not responsible for anyone's feelings but your own. And your journey to becoming more secure is paved by how you choose to show up for yourself and how you protect your inner child from feeling unsafe or getting hurt. Nevertheless, once you tap into your inner experience and begin expressing your feelings instead of bottling them up, you will notice that you are able to create more space to accommodate other people's feelings. To piggyback on that, as the final habit to improve your emotional well-being is to cultivate empathy. As you expand your emotional spectrum, start by considering your partner's needs and how your behavior, which you have control over, can affect them. Attending to the needs of the people you care about can also be a source of learning to become more in tune with yours. In the next video, we are merging both sides of the insecure spectrum of attachment to explore the disorganized or fearful avoidant attachment style. My name is Liz, and we hope these perspectives are helping you gain more awareness about the unhealthy patterns holding you back from deep emotional well-being. If you find these videos useful for your journey, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel for more content like this. See you later.